So people with clairsentience usually have the ability to feel the energy in the room. They have the ability to sense the emotions that other people are having. They also a lot of times will have like a lot of different emotions because they are experiencing emotions from other people, and a lot of times they don't know where those emotions are coming from. Also,
I feel like clairsentience goes past just emotions though too, because I get physical feelings.
That's what I was getting into.
Oh, okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Em.
And I'm Liv, and we're your Meta Psyckicks.
Today we are going to be talking about the clairs. So common ones like clairvoyance and clairaudience are psychic abilities that Liv, who's a psychic medium, uses to communicate with spirits and get psychic information like past, present, and future. These are things that mean clear hearing, clear feeling, all of the clears, because that's what clair means in French. Hey, it's Future Editing M. I needed to split this video into 3 parts, so make sure you check out part 1 and 2, and then come back to this video. We are going to be talking about Clairsentience, Clairgustance, and Clairaliance. So let's get into it. So Clairsentience is clear feeling.
My ability to feel Emily's raging headache right now.
So if you are an empath, you would be clairsentient. I would say most people on this universe are clairsentient because it is like a survival tactic. No, this might be why Rosaline was telling you about clairsentience.
What your spirit guide just did 2 minutes ago was make my ear hurt and be like, hey you, I'm here, I got something to say. And I was like, oh, okay, so M's clairsentient. She's gonna tell you about it right now, why she felt the need to help validate your feelings through me.
Well,
because she never talks to me unless she absolutely needs to.
Because the issue is like, when you have trauma, you have this reaction to essentially look at the people around you and understand what they're feeling based on their body language in order to protect yourself, because if they're gonna get angry at you, you want to know before it happens so that you can prepare yourself. So I'm thinking, is that clairsentience, or is that just a survival tactic that you have created because of trauma?
Well, I want to say that clairsentience and your survival tactic of trauma can be both. I think there definitely is psychology based in clairsentience, but I also think that you have to think about it at, like on a person-to-person basis. I don't know. One of the things that I struggle with, but I think it's because I get everybody else's energies, when I go into large crowds of people, I get anxious a lot. But I think that's because there's so much energy not only with the people around them, but souls related to those people that want to talk to them, that it's like when we do TikTok lives, I get a little anxious, but it's because
there's so much energy.
It's not as bad though, because the people aren't physically in front of me.
Yeah.
But, so I only have the soul's energy around me, and I can kind of filter through it a little bit, but it definitely does give me anxiety, and that's something that I have to like deal with. Like, do you ever notice when we're doing TikToks and I'm like,
oh, you're like that all the time? But I mean, I realize. I understand that it's a lot of energy because when you do readings, I can feel it through my ear.
Yeah. So I feel like if you go into a large group of people, or like when I go to the city, going to the city is mentally tasking for me, because I have to, one, not only is it a new environment, so that's scary, but also there's people everywhere, and I'm just like, oh gosh. And I don't feel like the people are going to hurt me, and I don't feel like I have to run from people or hide from people, so it's not like a social anxiety, I don't think, because I don't have issues towards the people around me. It's just that there's so much physical and spiritual energy that I'm like, oh gosh, wow.
Yeah, I literally can't tell the difference between my trauma and clairsentience.
Interesting. When I come over, do you feel my energy? My overwhelmed energy. Sorry, I need to stop swearing on YouTube. My overwhelmed
I can cut it
energy.
out, but yeah. Yeah, I can sense the energy in a room, so if someone is angry, even though I don't know they're angry, they just fill the room up and it feels like I'm walking through sludge. So do you think people who have trauma develop their clairsentience?
Faster? Probably. How do you want to develop clairsentience? Trauma!
Dear God.
You don't meditate or eat healthy or rearrange your house for feng shui. You put yourself in traumatic situations, especially with other humans. Sorry.
So people with clairsentience usually have the ability to feel the energy in the room. They have the ability to sense the emotions that other people are having. They also a lot of times will have like a lot of different emotions because they are experiencing emotions from other people, and a lot of times they don't know where those emotions are coming from. Also,
I feel like clairsentience goes past just emotions though too, because I get physical feelings.
That's what I was getting into.
Oh, okay. So we're getting into what clairsentience is not just emotions, it's also physical feelings.
So, what is that thing called? Sympathy pains? It's funny because every time I think of sympathy pains, I think of like a woman giving birth and the man experiencing sympathy pains.
Oh god, I wish that was a thing. That would be hilarious.
It happens, I feel like. I don't know.
Maybe.
It's weird. It's really funny though. But anyways, Liv gets a lot of physical sensations. Like, I have chronic headaches and Liv gets them. She literally can explain my headache in detail to me. But it's also kind of like, you can use clairsentience when you're speaking with spirits. They will make you get chills and things like that. From other people I've talked to, when they get chills, they assume that that's like a yes, like an overwhelming yes when they get chills.
So I was giving a reading to a woman and she wanted to know about her health. And as soon as she said health, for me as a medium, it's usually when people say words that I get information, because I ask my spirits and spirit guides to only give me information that the people that I'm talking to want to share. So usually when someone starts to say something or it's already going to be spoken into existence, that's when I get information for them, because I don't want to be intrusive to everybody's lives. But anyways, she said my health, and as soon as she said my health, I got a like burning, itching, prickly sensation on my arms, and I got like an aching, burning in the joints of my arms too. And I said, okay, and then I saw that she had 3 different medications that she was on, and that one of the 3 possibly could be the issue and it might need to be tweaked a little bit, and that's one she'd have to talk to about her doctor. And I also got like a nauseous feeling in my stomach, almost like heartburn, I guess. And I explained that to her. I said, the medication that you take that gives you heartburn or an upset stomach, that's the one that you need to talk about getting tweaked by your doctor, because it might be the one that's causing issues, and once you get that figured out, everything will be better. I said, but I'm having like burning, itching, aching bones and skin, and what I told you I just told her. And she goes, oh, that makes so much sense. One of the medications that I take, I think gives me heartburn, and I have fibromyalgia, and it mostly affects my arms. So that's clairsentience, because I wouldn't know what fibromyalgia felt like, and I wouldn't know that she had 3 medications and that she gets heartburn from one of them, and that might be the one that needs to be tweaked so that her arms feel better.
Another thing is, I was doing a reading for a guy with tarot, and his spirit guide feels like a wind, and the spirit guide pushes him in certain directions. So he like feels like he needs to go in a certain direction or is drawn towards a certain thing. That is also clairsentience.
So it's feelings, not just emotions.
So the next 2, I know pretty much nothing about. That is all Liv. So these usually are put together.
So Clairaliance is clear smell, and Clairgustance is clear taste. I usually get these when I'm doing dog readings or pet readings. Pet readings, they love to give me smell and taste. I had a pet reading once, and the animal was alive, so it wasn't a spirit. And he was telling me about my client's past partners, and that the one that he liked smelled better than the one that he didn't like. And the one that he didn't like had like a very bitter kind of like acrylic or acidic smell. And the only way I can describe it is like the worst $1 Axe body spray knockoff that you can buy at the dollar store. And that's what this guy smelled like, but overwhelmingly, like to the point that my nose was burning. And I just thought that was funny. In addition to showing me what kind of shoes he wore, and then he wore a lot of like expensive dumb shoes. Because this dog was a Chihuahua. So when I read pets, they always show me things from their point of view. So I got the horrible smell while seeing the dude's shoes. So I was like, the one that he didn't like was this guy that smelled like this, and also did he wear a lot of expensive shoes, but like the shoes that are really expensive but aren't like, they don't look expensive, like Yeezys and stuff. Not if you like Yeezys, that's fine, but I'm just saying they're like athletic shoes.
Yeah.
Anyways, and she's like, oh my gosh, yes, I hated him. He was such a poor like person, and it was so funny. And then he showed me the boyfriend that came after that guy, and like the way he smelled was more like nice, not musty, but like comforting smell almost. And he wore like only one pair of shoes.
God.
And they were brown, and he usually wore like dark paired jeans.
Yeah, animals get a lot of information from smells. That's why they sniff your butt and things like that.
And taste. Cats, those little gravy goo treats that come in like the little
they
packages.
tell you what they taste like.
Oh my gosh,
so when you
love
get
it.
taste from cats, is it gross to you, or they make it seem like it's a good taste?
It's like when I have dreams, and when I'm having the dreams, they don't seem scary, but then when I wake up and I remember what they are, I'm like, I should have been way scareder.
So you're like, I don't know why this tastes good, but it does taste good right now.
They give me how it tastes to them, and usually I'll
that's
get like
so weird.
I'll get like a meaty metallic taste.
Yeah.
If they get wet food.
Oh,
and if they have crunchy food, I'll get like the sensation of chewing something crunchy. Even with like size, like if they have small little crunchy niblets, I get the feeling in my mouth of it being small little niblets.
So weird.
Or big chunks of like kibble. And I'll also get like the dry sensation, the crunchy sensation, and then also since it's not a wet food, I don't get that. It's almost like a metallic-y cold smell too, because most times when people give their animals wet food, it was in the fridge or it's room temperature. So it has that like cold smell. And the taste, again, if it's wet food, is like metallic-y, and like I get the like pate kind of texture.
Yeah.
And then the crunchies have more of like a bread taste to them, but also
that's so gross.
Like bland kind of.
So taste from humans, like when they show you like, I don't know, a lot of times spirits like to talk about when they bake things, because people bake things incorrectly. Do they show you taste then?
I don't usually get taste from humans, unless the only taste that I've gotten from humans is when they're talking about people that are bad.
That are negative, because you get a bitter taste.
Yeah, or a slimy sensation in my mouth. So if they're talking about
weird.
somebody that's alive, or that they don't like, I've had 2 instances of both of those. One person that was a bad person and might have been involved.
You got it from Lola too. My
oh yeah, the chinchos.
You're like, there's something bitter she doesn't like in my video.
Yeah, and it's related to people because they're bad or bitter people.
No,
or if they're slimy people, I get slimy. But I get it as a taste.
Yeah, the things they don't like.
Yeah, but I've never gotten like a food from a person. I've only gotten food from
So you just
animals.
like see it or something?
Yeah, like I was
got you.
When I read Tall Emily, well, I guess he gave me the smell of banana bread. Tall Emily's grandfather came in, and I guess you can watch the tarot versus psychic medium video if you want, but I was reading Tall Emily, and her grandfather came in, and the way he validated who he was not only the way he looked, but he showed me big glass pans of banana bread, and I was like 3, 4, 5 pans of banana bread. And I said, did your grandfather like to eat or bake or both banana bread? And she goes, oh my God, it's literally all he ever wanted to eat was banana bread, and he would bake it all the time.
Oh, I'm so hungry.
So he would show me the banana bread, and maybe I got the smell of it too, but it was more visual than anything else.
Notice it probably.
Yeah.
It's just like an addition.
Yeah.
Where with animals, it's like information for you.
Oh, because they're very picky about their food.
Animals?
I talked to the cutest little creature the other day, and he was one of those dogs that like have to go to the groomers. So like his hair grows over his lip, and when he eats his wet food, it gets stuck on his little mustache.
Gross.
And it was so cute.
Sorry. My God.
And he was telling me about his food and how it gets stuck to his face, and he's like, it's like this. It gets stuck on my face. And I'm like, what? But that's the feeling that I was getting.
God. That's so weird.
It was really funny. He was so cute. His owner picked him up and he was literally like... I love when
Frozen.
I don't need to see your animals, but I love when you show me because his face was...
Because animals?
Yes.
Because
creatures.
Animals? And she's a biology major.
I love creatures. I love them so much. Okay, sorry. So when we're talking about the clairs and the explanation that we just gave you, it doesn't always happen the way that we explained it for each clair for every person. Just because you are clairsentient doesn't mean that maybe you feel the emotions of everybody in a room. Maybe you just walk in and you understand something differently. So don't take what we're saying for gospel or exactly how it is, because these things are fluid. They're not static. It's not always, they're not set in stone. If you go on the internet and people are telling you, this is what you need to do to strengthen clairaudience, and this is what clairaudience is, and this is exactly how clairaudience happens.
That can be a block.
It can be a block.
Because you think, why isn't it not happening? So then you're saying, I'm not clairaudient, it's not happening for me. I'm not gonna listen to the signs I'm getting. So this will block you. And the best way to figure out how it comes in for you is to get a connection with your spirit guides and have them direct you through your clairs. So that is what we're going to be talking in our next video. So make sure you subscribe and hit that notification bell so that you get notified when we post that video. However, while you guys wait, check out our podcast. We're gonna be talking in more detail on this topic and all our other videos. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
We are your Meta Psyckicks.
You know how your mom talks about that spiritual advisor who's like, I can't tell you how your gifts work, I can just explain things that happen to you. And it's because if she was like, you should be able to do this, you're gonna be like, why can't I do this? And it will block you from seeing how it actually comes through for you.
Exactly. Well, that's like how we were just talking about the fish tank. I get information from the fish, but you get information from Clairaudience.
That's what I'm trying to be like. You should not be listening to our information and thinking, why is this not happening to me?
Because it's different.
Because it's going to block you from seeing how it actually happens for you.
Yeah.
I don't know how to say that.
You just gotta find yourself an Emily or a Liv.